Hi, for those who don't know me, my name is Kim. I work as a counsellor and I wanted to share a technique that I use with a lot of my clients for helping manage overwhelming emotions. I think with what's going on in the world right now, we are often finding that we are becoming overwhelmed for no reason. We may already experience levels of anxiety anyway, or lots of concerns and worries that come to us often. And what I'm hearing from other people, this is coming from clients, it's coming from family and friends. We are often feeling overwhelmed right now. I'm also hearing people are feeling trapped and isolated and lonely, unsure of what's happening in the world, unsure what's going to happen in the future. And I think that unknown often spikes our anxiety levels and feelings of being overwhelmed. So I wanted to talk to you today about a technique that I use. Before we go into that, I wanted to talk to you really about what's in our control and what isn't. I think at the moment we have very little control over what's going on in the world. We've got other people that are making decisions for us, and I guess it's almost like a feeling of feeling like a puppet on a string, really. People are giving us instructions and we are having to follow them whether we like them or not. And that can often lead to not just the overwhelming feelings of feeling anxious, but it can also make us feel quite frustrated and angry and annoyed as well. And especially if we are at home and not working, not able to get out to work, or we are working and it comes to weekends and we crash a little bit because we start overthinking things, which again, all of these responses are really normal for what we are all going through right now. So again, I just wanted to say a lot of that stuff is out of our control, and unfortunately we do have to just let that go a little bit. What we are in control of, and I guess this is where I wanted to stay towards really, is we are in control of how we respond to what's going on in the world. That is in our control to do that. So that might be that, we were able to keep ourselves safe as much as possible, whether it is that we stay in and are not working, whether it's we are washing our hands a lot more than we did. We are really careful when we get deliveries come to our homes, and our own well-being as well. Are you exercising? Are you getting out? And are you able to get out and go for a walk around the block? Or if you've got green space where you live, go and have a walk around your green space. Some people I know are going out running, which they've never done before. Some people are not able to get out and are doing exercise routines at home, whether they're following a Joe Wicks routine or they're looking for something on YouTube or Facebook. There are lots of people out there that are doing online yoga classes, meditation. There is absolutely loads of stuff going on out there, and it's amazing. So that is in our control, how we respond to what's going on. If you are doing all of this stuff and it's still not working, this technique may help to bring you down a little bit, back into your, what we call, into your window of tolerance, which we all have. We have a tolerance level that we manage our own emotions. And what that looks like is when we come out of that, we go into heightened emotions that might be anxiety driven, or it might also be anger driven, or we go underneath our window of tolerance where we might feel quite zoned out and sort of in shock a little bit. So those are the two that we tend to fall into when we fall out of our window of tolerance. So what this does is, this is a grounding technique, and it can help when you are feeling really overwhelmed. So the first thing that I would like you to do is find 4 things within the space that you are in at the moment. So you may be in your living room, you may be in your dining room, kitchen, your bedroom, bathroom, you may even be outside in the garden, and you're just feeling overwhelmed. Look for 4 red things. So within my space now, as I look around my living room, I find red cushions. I've got 2 red cushions. In fact, I've got 3 different red cushions. I have red in my curtains. I have vases and ornaments that are red. And my couch is also red as well. So there's lots of things. I have a red bracelet on as well. So look around your space. Try and find 4 red things. Okay. So now I want you to find 3 things that you can touch. If you are stood up, you may want to sit down. If you're already sat down, I would try and make sure your feet are firmly on the ground and that you can feel that. You may want to put your hands down next to you and put your hands on the cushion. You may have arms on your chairs. Put your hands on your armchairs. You may want to pick something up solid. That might be some kind of rock or pebble, or just something. That it might be a pen or something like that, wherever you are. So when you've done that, it may be good at this point to take a few deep breaths as well if you can. Breathe in for your nose. Hold it. Breathe out. You could do this a few times, as many times as you need to. So that's the second part of the activity, and I think it's really important to do this bit, because what it does is it reconnects you back to something solid. Because when you are in a heightened state of emotion, you might start recognising this now, is that you feel a bit floaty, that you're not quite connected to anything. So this is a regrounding exercise using all of your senses. Okay, so we found 4 things that you can see and 3 things that you can touch. So I now need you to find 2 things that you can hear. That could be a lot of different things, really. So in my space now, I can hear traffic outside. I can hear the birds tweeting and just talking to each other. I can hear technology. No matter if technology is on or not, I can hear that buzz of some of the appliances that are in my living room. Think about what you can hear. What can you hear right now? Are your children laughing? Can you hear your neighbours talking? Is your washing machine running? Can you hear that? There's lots of things that you may be able to hear. Running water is another one. Okay, so when you've done that, I want you to find 1 thing that you can smell. It's maybe good, it may be bad. Hopefully you can smell some really nice things. It might be flowers. It may be a plant. It may be cooking. Somebody might be baking cookies and you can smell that wonderful chocolate smell coming through, or just that smell of baking cakes and cookies, which is lovely. I went outside the other day and I could smell my neighbours cooking a curry. It just smelled delightful. I can always smell it when somebody's cooking bacon outside. These are real comfort smells, make you feel hot at home and safe. That's what that part of the activity does. It just reminds you of memories, hopefully good ones. So you've done this activity now. It's the sensory grounding activity. By the time you've done all of these things, what I'm hoping is that you are feeling less overwhelmed, that you've managed to calm down a little bit. And when those things happen for you, what tends to happen is that you feel clearer in your mind. You're able to think about what you need to do next. And it might be just making plans, it might be what you're going to make for tea. But hopefully you will feel less overwhelmed, and that feeling has travelled on and it's passed over, it's gone, or it's reduced a little bit, enough for you to think clear again. Okay, so I do hope that this has helped. It might be something that you need to practice, and practice it as often as you can. And then when you need it, you're more likely to tap into it. If anybody wants to share using the technique, and if it's helped you in any way, please send me a message. It'll be good to hear from you. Thank you for listening.